What's up, everybody? Picasso here. Just a quick little market review and just analysis on Bitcoin here on Sunday, the 22nd of April. So this video is for educational purposes, not intended as investment advice. What I see going on with Bitcoin is the larger picture that I've been waiting for is starting to play out. What we have going on here is that, well, first of all, I have the larger picture up here again with the grand Fibonacci. And we'll refer back to that in a second. But what I want to show you here is what has led us up to this point. Okay, we have this harmonic reversal right here. Now this move, like I was saying, usually can support a 50% retracement back up. And that's basically right where we're at. So that would be calculated by here to here. Change my Fibonacci here. Okay, and you can see in here, right here, the 0.5, we are right there, about that 9,000 zone for the 50% retracement back up. All right, from this daily harmonic move. Now, the thing is, though, is that this move has pushed us past the trend resistance. Okay, you can see this resistance here from all the way from the top, right down here, and we've now pushed through that resistance, and we're sort of consolidating here in this little zone underneath the daily cloud. Now, what I was saying in the last update is that we've reached, once we had this cross here on the 12-hour, okay, the TK cross right here with this candle, it was telling us that right when this happened, the price on the 12-hour time frame could push to the edge of the cloud. Okay, which was also confluent with being the 50% retracement back up, okay, from this sell-off, the 50% retracement back up from that structure, which is also these previous tops. So there's a lot of confluence telling us that this is a really good target zone. Okay, really good target zone to close your long or to possibly open a short. The only reason I wouldn't open a short here now is because we've moved past the resistance. You can see with this line right here. I mean, even if you want to pull it out a little further, no matter how you look at it, we're past it. So, like I mentioned in the update a day or two ago, is that we moved to the top of the 12-hour cloud, but now we're at the bottom of the one-day cloud here, and we don't have any TK cross. There's no cross here. This blue line has not crossed over this red line yet. Now, when the blue line crosses over the red line to the upside, it will be the first signal or first indication that the price could push to the edge of the cloud up here. Now, right now, we have no good reason to push into the cloud because these averages aren't showing us that it's time to do that yet. But what I see going on here is that the market's strong. It's very bullish. Everybody wants to buy the dip. Everybody feels like we've broken resistance now, and the market looks bullish again. So I think what's going to happen is that we'll probably move up a little further to about here into the cloud, maybe come up and test about 98, let's say about a little bit higher, these wicks right here, about 96 through 99, okay, and about that zone up in here, these wicks right up in here, right about here, this zone. I think that we could push up that high and then lose momentum and then start to fall back down and need to clarify support at this point right here, at these previous tops, about 8,500. Now, that would give us a situation where we would be pushing up a little higher and then we'd fall down to here. But we would still hold on to that daily cloud until this average line crosses this one. Okay, we get that TK cross maybe in about a week at the most, I think. That would give time for price to consolidate. For price to consolidate in this zone right here. Maybe push as far up as 98, 99, and then sell back down to the bottom of the cloud here, about 84.50, 85, and test these tops because we've broken this resistance here, but we haven't tested it. And right now, if we test it, we're going to fall past this resistance. But if we wait to test it, we're still going to be on the outside of the resistance line and still holding on to the edge of the cloud, which would probably give it a very good amount of time for this to consolidate in here and these averages to cross, and thus to get the TK cross, which would be the first indication that we would push to the edge of the cloud. Now, you can see a push to the edge of the cloud is going to push us past our number 34 grand Fibonacci point, which is this resistance zone. I'm just going to steal this here. This resistance zone right here that we had a lot of trouble clearing. Now, two things tell me that the next push after this, slight retracement here, this needs to retrace. After it retraces and finds support, that push to the edge of the cloud, I think it's going to push past this 34 Fibonacci price point of 11.7. And I feel like it's going to push past there for two reasons. One, because at that time, we will be doing an edge-to-edge trade, and the edge of the cloud is beyond these price points. And we also have another ABCD pattern showing up right here. Okay, A to B down in here, and this one right up to about here, about 1.1, maybe these top right about there, which is these tops right here. Okay, so structure-wise, I'm seeing that we could run to here, which is about 12.5, anywhere 12.5, 13.2 in that zone. We're basically looking for these wicks right in this area to get visited at the top of the daily cloud once we push through the cloud and start to make our journey. Now, I think that once that happens, that there'll be a good consolidation sell-off, but I really feel like the trend changed. The trend changed right here with this harmonic pattern, and also with this, like I pointed out, this truncated fifth wave. Okay, the price really tried to push down, and it couldn't. And you can see here, it spent a good week trying to break down further beyond this point here for that run down to about 4,000, 5,000, and then further down like everybody was expecting. But I feel like it ended here with a truncated fifth wave, which also shows this support trend right here, which is confluent with my larger 2-week analysis. Okay, now I'm going to actually pull up the 2-week analysis on Bitstamp because it has more history. There's Coinbase. Here we go. Okay, the 2-week analysis here shows me that I think that we are, this is one of the last charts that I put on social media when I was talking about this, and most people think I'm crazy to see this far into the future in the L8 wave structure, but these are the way the markets play out. I'm expecting Bitcoin to go to 100,000 because I've lived through a previous bubble, okay, on Bitcoin, a previous wave, okay, grand wave. And I've lived through this bearish cycle here, this entire 2.5-year long cycle. The thing is with Bitcoin is, I think that we're right about here. Right there. In the structure. Where we had a big wave up. It reached a peak, sold down, lasted for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Everybody thinks Bitcoin's dead, and then boom, it pops itself back up again and makes a larger expansion of the wave. Because this wave, you have to understand L8 wave theory. L8 wave theory is telling me that if we are indeed in a wave here, if this wave right here, okay, is indeed a wave 3 or an impulsive wave, so you have to look at the bigger picture. This entire move up here is an impulsive grand wave, okay? So after this consolidation in this entire bear trend, we have another wave that started. This wave that started now, we have this one here that went 54,000%. This wave here has only gone 12,700%. This wave, if it is indeed a third or even a fifth wave of an L8 wave structure, it should go longer. Okay, I can see this wave moving further up. I mean, if we get equal length we're talking, that's why I think this is going to go to 100,000. Because by 100,000 up here is still longer in percent gain than the first wave. This wave, this impulsive wave that we're looking at right here, it should be longer in percent. It should be at least the length of this wave in percent gain, if not longer, according to Elliott wave theory. So I don't feel it's done. That's why I never really wanted to short this thing in this zone, because I'm waiting for it to turn around. Now, yes, it didn't turn around in the 3 or 4 spots that I thought it was going to turn around, and it lasted longer than I thought. But nobody's 100% right. You know, you have to, at the end of the day, you have to have more winning trades than losing trades. And that's where it comes down to risk management. So there's no reason that anybody should have really lost their ass in this period. In the grand scheme of things, you should have taken some losing trades that combine with your winning trades to give you a normal trading portfolio. I mean, everybody has losing trades. The idea is to understand the bigger picture. You know, I took a lot of trades in here and got stopped out and got stopped out and got stopped out. But my idea is that I'm building a position in here for when this thing turns around and goes to 30, 60, 100,000. I really feel like that is still going to happen, especially because now we are playing this structure out pretty precisely. I mean, this is a higher time frame. Look at right here. Okay, look at this point right here. The stochastic RSI. Just as we broke out on the 2-week time frame, the stochastic RSI was on the 2-week level was just crossing over right in this zone right here, showing that there was a lot of strength that could grow out of this move. Okay, right in here, where it held the trend and then started to progress up. There was a lot of indication in momentum saying that this thing could grow and go higher. Okay, when it ran out of momentum, right up the top of the peak here was when we ran out of momentum on the 2-week time frame, right up here. So this is telling me that, look, same way so, we have a 2-week stochastic RSI that's just wanting to turn. We broke resistance now. There is a lot of momentum that could grow out of this for the next 3 to 4 months is what I'm thinking for this bull run. And that 3 to 4 month period really could take us all the way up here to 100,000. Okay? Once this held in here, there was not, everybody, I remember, everybody thought Bitcoin was dead. The bubble was burst. I remember this like very vividly in this time. It's the same kind of market cycle behavior with the participants too. Everybody hates everybody. Everybody's angry. It's everyone else's fault but the traders who make the trades in this time zone. And then boom, the market turns around. And nobody really thinks that it's going to go higher, and boom, it goes higher and everybody chases it. And that's what gives us this expansive move beyond. I really think the same thing's going to happen here. We're going to get this expansive move beyond up here when people realize that this shit is not selling down any further, and we make, you know, a push above that 11,700 mark, because this 11,700 mark for a lot of traders, which is my Fibonacci point right up here. Once we get on top of here, this is where the market really starts to get bullish. This is where a lot of people start to see the trend as completely changed, and we are on the bullish side of things. I see things a little bit early. I was expecting it to turn around here, 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 but that's, you know, it's just the way that I trade. I'm looking at a bigger time frame. I'm building a position in here expecting this thing to turn around. And now that I see that we've broken the resistance, I really feel like we're going to push up a little higher. People will chase it like normal, and then it will sell down. But it should not fall back below this resistance. That will give us what I call hugging the cloud, where the price comes up. It has no reason to go into the cloud just yet to the other side, but it makes an advance, and then it starts to hug the edge of the cloud on the outside of the resistance, finds support at a previous breakout point, and then turns around. So this is what I'm expecting. Right about here, I'm expecting these red line and the blue line, okay, to cross, for us to get the TK cross to the upside, okay, and then the price to start to move here to the other edge of the cloud. So that's what I see going on with Bitcoin. like I said, this is going to bring a whole wave to cryptocurrency. It's hard to talk about every single coin. Um, I'm really trying to focus on Bitcoin, which is the main king of things that's going to bring the money, and EOS, because I really feel like out of all the coins that moved, EOS had the largest percent gain in its previous wave structure. So that's why my analysis for EOS is pushing up and past $150, and we seem to be getting that structure starting to play out, which is really funny because it was there. It was pretty obvious for a while with EOS, and a lot of you guys saw it as well. But what I find really interesting is that a lot of the haters laughed about it and said, "Oh, there's no way that it's going to do that. It's going to sell down like all the rest of these shit coins." And all I can say to the haters is I really hope that you guys learned something from this downwave and took position, because this shit is going to fucking blow, and it's going to make a lot of people money. And if you stay in this negative mind state that the market gave you here, you are going to miss all of the opportunity that's right in front of your eyes. All right, guys, keep stacking it. Cheers.